Hi, my name is Stephan. I'm a reflexologist and Indian head therapist. I am based in the Blauber Coast area. Reflexology and Indian head therapy started about the year 2000. During that time, there was a lot of illness issues around my dad. He had a bit of health problems, and eventually that caused him to, it extended over into first stroke and a second stroke. And through all of that, I just realized after hospitalization and information from the professional people what the consequences would be once he returned home, I decided there's something more that I want to do, as I believe there is always an alternative approaching the holistic manner, getting closer to understand how I can add to the healing journey. So studied reflexology simply because I went for a few treatments myself and I thought, this is good. I like the feeling every time afterwards. I truly enjoyed the knowledge, the experience, and what happened to the mental and physical feeling after the reflexology. Studied it for 2 years at a university in Stellenbosch, which was an international school for reflexology. And while completing that, I then met an amazing professor who was also in the holistic world, but also with the background of Western medicine and traditional medicine. Met him and I started to learn about the Indian head therapy. Now, all of a sudden I realized that these two therapies, reflexology and the Indian head therapy, and the combination with those two, definitely could enhance the overall well-being of everybody. So after a couple of 2 years researching, studying, having to do a lot of case studies, I come to the point where I realize, okay, now it is the time to take all of those that I've studied and that I've learned over the time, that it is now time to put them into practice. So of course it started with my dad, where I then had the opportunity to do the reflexology and then the Indian head body therapy. With the Indian head and body therapy, there were a lot of similarities of physio that I eventually found out about the techniques. After all of this information and putting everything together, it absolutely came down to the different techniques. With the pressure point techniques that you use on the feet, it's always about the circulation. And the same goes with the Indian head therapy. It is the pressure point technique that you use around on the head, the neck, the shoulders. So with the combination of these two therapies, I noticed the change in when it came to the aftercare, the rehabilitation after strokes, the time that you had to work on, and the different techniques that you would use, how effective that eventually started, because it was all about natural flow, the opening of neural pathways, the opening of blood circulation, and working on the nerve endings. So working on the nerve endings stimulate. It was all about the stimulation through these two therapies. So first, it was always the focus on the Indian head therapy first, to totally relax the person. So relaxing the person through the different techniques that you would use on the head, the neck, the shoulders, and then moving on to the feet. So those two combinations were extremely powerful. Yes, of course, it took a bit of time, because there is, with any of these therapy, apart from the fact that you totally feel in a relaxed state of mind, it has to do with the process, the time, how long it will take, when it will take. That is from each and every individual. So For me, with these two therapies, of course you can do it apart. Some people come for reflexology and other people come for the Indian aid therapy. The effect of these two therapies, it's like I will do home visits. The home visits is where the people, they usually are in their natural environment, and then you go in there, and then that is where you start to work on the people. Depending on what the circumstances are, there's always a program that you work out, whether it's going to be a month or 2 months or 3 months, but you work it out individually that will suit the person the best. But the sooner after a stroke you start to get involved with reflexology and Indian aid therapy, whilst you are still doing your physio and all the other things that comes around with that, these two therapies does make a difference. And I can say that simply because of past experiences. So yes, at the end of the day, for me, reflexology and Indian aid therapy, the combination of the two is about overall well-being, the healing journey that you go onto for enjoyment, for relaxation, for more serious matter, whatever it is. I believe in it, and I am here to now continue this journey in just making people aware of what there is. Not sometimes we believe holistic approach, we believe there's all sorts of different approaches that you can do. For me, it is not about identifying it as anything that it should be categorized under something or something or something, nothing like that. It is good old-fashioned technique, the technique driven, how you use it, the knowledge that you've got, and what happens to the body when the body are being fed, and the body gets this oxygen, and the body gets this feeling of something is happening. That is the key to what therapy is all about.